Writing powerful personal and buddy statements can be the difference between a denied and a fully granted VA claim. In this video, I'll walk you through how to craft clear, compelling, and legally effective statements, the VA forms you need, the regulations that govern them, and the common pitfalls you must avoid. We'll also get into best practices, how to format and label your documents, and why printing and wet signing your forms is essential. Let's start with the foundation. What are personal and buddy statements, and why do they matter? A personal statement, often referred to as a statement in support of claim, gives you the chance to speak directly to the VA rater in your own words. It allows you to explain your diagnosis, when and how your symptoms began, what treatments you've undergone, and how the condition impacts your daily life. A buddy statement, on the other hand, is a written statement from someone who has observed your symptoms. This could be a spouse, friend, coworker, or fellow service member. For both statements, the VA Form 21-10210, titled Lay Witness Statement, is the primary form used. It replaces several older forms and is extremely versatile. You can use it for both personal and buddy statements. However, for personal statements specifically, some veterans still choose to use VA Form 214138, titled Statement in Support of Claim, while the VA prefers the 21-10-210 now. The 21-4138 is still acceptable and in use. If you're submitting a personal statement without using the newer form, make sure it's typed, legible, and properly signed. The legal basis for these statements comes from 38 CFR, Section 3.159A2, which defines competent lay evidence as evidence that does not require specialized education, training, or experience. This means your personal experience, observations, and recollections are legally valid as supporting evidence. The VA M21-1 Adjudication Procedures Manual further supports the use of personal and buddy statements and provides guidelines for how VA raters are to interpret and weigh lay evidence. This is a key point. VA raters are instructed to give proper weight to lay statements, especially when they are detailed, consistent with service records, and corroborated by other evidence like DBQs or nexus letters. Now, let's talk about how to structure your statement. I highly recommend this format, which mirrors how VA raters think when reviewing your claim. Intro. State your full name, last four of your SSN, your branch of service, dates of service, and what the statement is in support of. For example, this statement is in support of my VA claim for service connection for PTSD. Diagnosis. Type, name the specific diagnosis you've received. Make sure it matches what's in your medical records and DBQs. VA diagnostic code. Include the VA diagnostic code if known. For example, PTSD is rated under Diagnostic Code 9411. This shows you've done your homework and strengthens credibility. Symptoms and treatments. Describe when your symptoms started, how they've progressed, and what treatments you've received. Be specific. Name medications, therapy sessions, hospitalizations, and frequency of care. Impact on daily life. Explain in plain but vivid detail how the condition affects your relationships, work, school, social life, and overall function. Use examples: missing work, trouble sleeping, mood swings, limited mobility, etc. Conclusion. Reaffirm that this statement is true to the best of your knowledge. Then include the statement of truth, which is essential. Write, I certify that the statements on this form are true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. I understand that making false statements can lead to criminal penalties, including perjury under U.S. law. This format does two things. It makes your statement more compelling, and it meets the VA's evidentiary standards. It also signals to the rater that you're credible, thorough, and serious about your claim. When it comes to best practices, follow these tips. Always type your statement for clarity. Keep it under 2 pages unless more space is absolutely necessary. If you're submitting both a personal and a buddy statement, make sure each form is individually signed, dated, and labeled. Ask your buddy to describe only what they've personally witnessed. No guessing, diagnosing, or making assumptions. Ask them to include specific timeframes, like, since 2017, I've observed John have frequent migraines 3 to 4 times a week. Ensure your statements are consistent with other evidence. If your DBQ says you take daily meds for PTSD, that should be in your statement too. Now let's go over common mistakes that lead to claim delays or denials. Submitting unsigned or electronically signed statements. The VA requires wet signatures, so always print and physically sign your forms in ink. Using vague language like sometimes or I think, instead say at least 3 times a week I experience an or I am unable to work full-time due to. Submitting statements with typos, unclear formatting, or no date. Combining buddy and personal statements on the same form, each should be on its own. VI Form 2110-210, separately signed and dated. Forgetting the statement of truth at the end. This is not just a formality, it gives legal weight to your claim. As for organizing your documents, make it easy for VA to read and process them. Here's how to properly label your PDFs before uploading them to va.gov or mailing them in. Use a clear and consistent naming structure like PTSD Personal Statement J. Smith.pdf, Knee Pain Buddy Statement R. Doe.pdf, Sleep Apnea Personal Statement V. A Form 10210.p. Include your last name or initials, the condition, and the document type. This helps both you and the VA keep track of your claim components. It is best practice to write separate personal and buddy statements for each type of diagnosis in your VA disability claim. Here's why. 1. Clarity for the VA rater. VA raters are reviewing specific conditions one at a time. Submitting one statement that covers multiple unrelated conditions, e.g., PTSD and knee pain, can create confusion or dilute the focus. Clear, condition-specific statements help the rater more easily connect your symptoms and impact to the correct VA diagnostic code. 2. Improves the strength of your lay evidence. A focused statement allows you to go into more depth about the onset, symptoms, treatments, and daily impact of that specific condition. It shows thoughtfulness and organization, something VA raters are trained to appreciate. 3. Stronger legal and medical alignment. Each condition has its own diagnostic criteria and rating schedule under 38 CFR Part 4. By separating statements, you can reference the correct VA diagnostic code, include condition-specific examples and evidence, e.g., sleep logs for sleep apnea, panic attacks for PTSD. Finally, remember that the VA gives weight to credibility. Your credibility improves when your statements are logically written, fact-based, free of contradictions, and include the statement of truth with a wet signature. Do not use digital signing services like DocuSign or electronic PDFs with typed signatures. These will likely be rejected or at the very least raise doubts. Whether you're submitting a personal statement or getting help from a buddy, following this structure and legal guidance will significantly boost your chances of success. The VA isn't just looking for medical evidence. They want to know how your life is being affected, and your statement is your chance to make that real for them. Remember, combining all conditions into one buddy or personal statement leads to vague, generalized claims and makes it harder to establish nexus and severity for each condition. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe for more veteran claim strategies and drop your questions below. Stay strong and take control of your claim.